the Daily Compliance News for Wednesday, November 19, 2025, the Accountability Edition. This is Tom Fox, and I'd like to welcome you to the Daily Compliance News. The Daily Compliance News is the only daily podcast which curates 4 top compliance, ethics, and/or corruption stories for your listening and viewing pleasure if you're watching this on YouTube. Our lead story today comes to us from Martin Wolf, the lead economist, commentator, or columnist at the Financial Times, and it's entitled, "We Have to Be Able to Hold Tech Platforms Accountable for Fraud." And Wolf was defrauded by a deep fake earlier this year, and he used that as a way to discuss how Meta is earning a fortune on a deluge of fraudulent ads. This report has come out earlier, but Meta really is making a lot of money on the fraud that they're allowing to be perpetrated on Meta's users, and they do that by charging more for those who want to defraud people. And this is certainly not a very good way to do business, and somebody needs to figure out a way to stop this because Meta's making a bunch of money and they don't want to stop the fraud. Next up from the New York Times, remember Gautam Adani, the infrastructure titan and close associate of Indian Prime Minister Modi? Well, the Justice Department indicted him last year under the Biden administration, and since then there's really been no action on this. The case against Adani was announced November 2024, and little has changed about this case, but he appears to be in legal limbo as he is trying to get the charges dropped, no doubt through a campaign contribution, but it's unclear why the case has come to a standstill and when, if at all, the U.S. will move forward. So, in legal limbo. Next up from Bloomberg, remember Altice, the Portuguese company? Well, today, or rather earlier this week, police carried out raids across France as a part of an ongoing corruption probe involving billionaire Patrick Dahy's stake in the communication company Altice. Searches took place at 15 homes and 14 companies in various French locations, and police recovered evidence and seized assets, including vehicles and more than $16 million from bank accounts. French authorities have been investigating the company since 2023 for a vast corruption scheme involving private corruption, organized fraud, money laundering, all to the detriment of Altice. And our final story comes to us from the Wall Street Journal, which says U.S. supply chains are deemed vulnerable to Chinese exploitation. Really no news there, except that you need to be aware of that if you're an export control or supply chain officer in your company. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.